Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Crypto at the Ferrum Roundtable. My name is Tom from the marketing team here at Ferrum Network, and please welcome Nathan, our crypto incubation advisor here at Ferrum Network. Hey Nathan, how you doing?
What's going on, Tom? Thanks for having me on today.
Well, it's exciting to have you here because we don't actually do that quite often. It's a very special episode, I think, because what we want to focus on is the current situation of the market, the current conditions, and what it actually means for Ferrum and Ferrum projects, Ferrum Advisory Services, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, and that's what I wanted to come on and talk specifically about today is how the current market conditions affect the Ferrum Advisory Services, Ferrum Community Raises, Ferrum Venture Investments, and what we're going to be looking at in the short to medium term from the Ferrum Advisory Services in terms of community raises and pre-sale opportunities, and what the kind of the overall picture is, the overall sentiment, what our projects are doing, and hopefully give people some more confidence on what's going on, and inform them on the exciting things that are happening behind the scenes, because a lot of times they don't get a glimpse into stuff other than the pre-sales themselves. So want to give them a little bit peek behind the curtains, assure people that yes, the community pre-sales are still going to be a thing for Ferrum 100%. But just kind of give them updates on what's going on with the current market conditions and how that's going to affect things.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, people are excited about pre-sales. They've always been excited about pre-sales.
Rightly so.
Yeah, exactly. But obviously, with whatever happens right now, what's happening in the market, it doesn't really give us a lot of optimism, right? And I think a lot of people are just thinking, what's next? How long this may actually take in this bear market, the crypto winter. And what does it actually mean for Ferrum Advisory Services and the new and upcoming projects that they've been so excited about in the past, that we've been releasing videos and interviews with as well. What can you tell us? How does this bear market actually affect those projects and Ferrum Advisory Services?
Yeah, absolutely. Great question. We've been in a pretty serious downtrend since November of last year, and more recently kind of had that capitulation event, kind of within the last 10 days here. That I think finally got everybody on board with the idea that the bear market is on. How long that's going to take, your guess is as good as mine. We're seeing all sorts of stuff out there in terms of it's going to be it's already over. We've already hit bottom. We've got people saying we're going to go to zero. We got people saying it's going to be 2 years. Nobody knows, right? So your guess is as good as mine. But from Ferrum as a company perspective, we're kind of taking the approach of hope for the best but plan for the worst. And we're really advising our clients to do the same and take the same mentality to treat this as a serious situation that it is, and plan accordingly.
Okay, cool. I mean, well, everything that you say, it's completely true. It's just sometimes it is it's quite difficult for projects to operate during these conditions, because it can be horrendous. Honestly, like everyone knows what happened recently with Terra Luna as an example, and there are projects that are struggling, unfortunately. Some projects that are great, some projects that are really they're working on great solutions. They really want to push for it. They really want to provide a lot of value to the crypto community, but we see them struggling. But what can you tell us about Ferrum? How do we stay strong? How do we keep going? And is the bear market actually going to affect us in any way?
Absolutely. And I think you just need to look at the charts to see that it already has. It's affected everybody in the crypto markets, as individuals, as companies, as investors, as projects, advisors. Nobody within crypto isn't affected by the macro of what's going on with Bitcoin, with the whole Terra fiasco, et cetera. One of the unique things about Ferrum, one of our advantages is that we've been through this before. Ferrum this isn't our first crypto winter. This isn't our first bear market. Ferrum was born essentially in the bear market. We're the bane, if you will, of the bear market. So we've done this before. The team is confident. The team prepared for this. We learned from the lessons of the last one, and so Ferrum is in a great position to be able to withstand a multiple year crypto winter if it comes to that. Obviously, fingers crossed it doesn't happen. But like I said, hope for the best, prepare for the worst. So we're tightening the belt anywhere that we can. Doing things like going back and renegotiating contracts with vendors. Focusing on the services and products that bring value to immediate value to Ferrum as a company, the team, our investors, the Ferrum token holders, in the short run, and making sure that we're trying to stay as cash positive as we can. Even in these bear markets, and that's one area that Ferrum is uniquely positioned for, is that we have the B2B side of Ferrum, that we have the foundational core products that we sell, and our products are more useful now than they ever had been. Our staking products, our token bridge, etc. These are things that projects need now in the bear market more than ever, to add additional utility to their token, to add additional utility to the project, and to help reward their holders and keep people, the diamond hands for their project. So, Ferrum is in a unique position in that sense that we've been through this before, we planned ahead for these eventualities, and we have a suite of products that are purpose built for situations like this, that we can go out there and actively generate revenue with. So Ferrum is looking good. From we're taking all the precautionary measures, but what we are affected by it, of course, and one part that is heavily affected by that is our Ferrum Advisory Services, and the activities, including our community sales, that we put on pause for the time being. They will be back, and they'll be back better than ever. We'll talk a little bit more about that shortly. But for the time being, it's the right thing to do to advise our projects to hold off. The market conditions are not appropriate to be launching a new token in. It's not going to do well for the project. It's not going to do well for any investors, and that would go just the same for the Ferrum pre-sale participants. So it's in everybody's best interest to pause the pre-sales for now. That doesn't mean we're not actively advising any projects right now. Our advisory projects, we're giving them a lot of the same advice that Ferrum is taking as well. Now, the advice varies a little bit depending on the project's development stage, where they're at in the roadmap, where they're at with their current funding, what type of project they are, and who their target market is. A lot of different factors go into the advice we're giving them, but overall, the advice is that we're headed into a bear market. We're in a bear market. We're in a crypto winter. You treat it as such. Pause the launch for now, if at all possible, and take it from there.
Yeah, I mean, well, first of all, I just want to reflect back on what you said about Ferrum. I find it inspiring the way we actually operate, the way the amount of services and products that we have available for other projects that are actually going to be, that they can save a lot of them during these times. That's amazing. That's incredibly important. And I do feel incredibly safe with obviously not financial advice to anyone. I just feel like, to be completely honest, we all follow a lot of different projects, not even related directly to Ferrum. And I haven't actually spotted for years, I haven't spotted a project that's going to have that many integrations on a weekly basis, that many partnerships with different projects, literally on weekly, daily and weekly basis. The product suite, the services that we offer, it's unbelievable. So I'm super proud that I'm here. And go on.
Absolutely, man. It's not the purpose of this call to really dive into the weeds on this stuff. And probably not either of our places to talk exact numbers on this, but what I can say is that as mentioned before, Ferrum was prepared for this. We are in no way in risk of the project. Ferrum's not going anywhere. Let's just put it that way. Yeah. Right? We've got multiple years around. We're doing just fine, right? So Ferrum ain't going anywhere. Pre-sales aren't going anywhere. They're on pause. They're going to be coming back. And as you mentioned, we've got a whole suite of products out there already, and where a lot of projects are putting their heads down for the bear market. Ferrum's not. Ferrum's out there. We're releasing new products. Everybody that's watching this probably knows about Crucible. If you don't, go check it out on Twitter and the Telegram group. Crucible is finishing up its final round of alpha testing. The beta testing is going to be coming out. The product's going to be live, and not only will be a huge benefit for Ferrum holders, a great way for them to generate sustainable rewards in the bear market, where the yields are dropping and there's not a lot of opportunities to do any of the various types of trading that people like to do in a down market. So, great opportunity with Crucible. It's going to add another tool to our toolkit that we can take to other projects to sell to other projects. We've got the Infinity Swap coming out, and of course, mainnet. So there's so much going on with Ferrum. Regardless of the bear market, everybody on the team's confident 2022 is going to be one of the biggest years for Ferrum ever. So very excited about that.
Super excited.
But sorry, a little off topic, getting into the weeds there. But yeah, sorry.
No, I love it. But then just moving back to the advisory services, right? So you've already mentioned, because obviously people are asking questions on Telegram, on Twitter as well, about the Presales, about the projects that we've announced some time ago and what's actually happening. And you've mentioned that you are advising them some steps of what to do in the upcoming weeks and months, and what to hold on of, like what to basically do. Can you just guide us through and those steps a little bit, and tell us how does it differ, what you advise to projects based on the development stage, based on the level of funding, obviously, during those times?
Yeah, absolutely. As you mentioned, a lot of variables that go into this. Development stage is a very big factor. For example, we had already, I think it was a week or 10 days ago, announced the Chibi's pre-sale. We've postponed that. Again, market conditions just aren't right for it. It's not going to be good for the project. It's not going to be good for Ferrum, pre-sale participants. So it's the right thing to do to push that up. That's an example of, a late stage project that is going to have a very different, kind of a roadmap and strategy for dealing with the bear market than a project that's still in the early rounds of fundraising, right? So, we're overall, the mentality is, as I mentioned before, hope for the best, prepare for the worst. Prepare yourselves with your budgets, your burn rates, your runways, your roadmaps, to be in a long-term stretch of difficult market conditions. For the projects that are currently well funded, that have the funds to sit and weather this, they're obviously in a good position. What they're focusing on right now, deving product, building out the teams, building out their infrastructure, developing and strengthening their community, overall focusing on building out the strongest project possible, so that when market conditions improve, they're either A, ready to go back to fundraising with a superior product that they had before to draw the attention of, a bigger and better investors, bigger and better VCs to add to their cap table, or if they're already through with their fundraising and ready to go launch, come to the launch with the most hyped and best built product team, et cetera, that they can, coming out of the bear market or the crypto winter here. So, we have other projects that are more, B2B related projects. They're infrastructure projects that are working actively with other, crypto projects. They're out there forming partnerships. They're doing revenue generating activities. So, those guys are in a great position here as well. Despite the fact they might not be able to fundraise, they might not have a live token going, they can still go out and keep the project alive by, selling their product to other, and their services to other crypto projects right now. For the guys that are in the middle of fundraising or low on funds, we're looking at alternative methods of fundraising. We're looking at things like going to layer ones and layer twos for grants. We're restructuring metrics to make them more attractive. A lot of these projects, we've been working with them for 6 months or so. It was a very different market conditions when we created the original token metrics. So we need to restructure those so that they fit for the current conditions, that they're more attractive to investors, whether that be through the hard cap, adjusting the vesting schedules, adjusting, different prices within the rounds, whatever that may be, accommodating things, fundamentals of the project to fit the market conditions that we're in. We're looking at accelerator programs. We've made connections with, not sure what names I can name, but some of the top accelerator programs out there, big names everybody would recognize. We're looking at, sending a lot of our incubator projects to them to hopefully get picked up for the accelerator programs. We have projects that are looking at doing, INOs, NFT raises. NFTs haven't been affected as much as token raises. They're holding stronger in the current market conditions than just about anything else out there. So for some projects, NFT raises are a possibility where it makes sense, where it adds value to the project and adds utility to the project. We're not just doing, NFT raises to raise money for a profile pic, right? That's not the kind of stuff we're working on. And circling back as they, take all these steps to make the project stronger, circling back to VCs that they previously pitched to say, give updates. and to see what kind of deals they can strike as the conditions have shifted more in the favor of VCs again, whereas previously may have been more in favor of the project. So we're working depending on where they are, and as I mentioned, the variety of conditions before, making sure that their plan is unique to them, but that they are taking this seriously and that they're making sure they're going to survive and make it through. Because the product we have in our incubation pipeline right now, we're very excited about them. It's the best lineup we've ever had. So overall, I don't think we have any projects right now that are in serious danger of not making it through this. We've got a great team on the Ferrum Advisory team working hard to make sure that's not going to happen. And we're working with some really great teams in our pipeline right now that are coming up with unique and really creative solutions, which is really what you need in times like this. You need to be adaptable and think outside the box. So we're excited to take this head on and meet new challenges.
Thank you so much for saying all this, because it actually calms us all down, I'm pretty sure, with everything that's happening in this space. So that's great to hear that. Great to hear those updates from the advisory team as well here. And Nathan, just one final question, basically. You've mentioned earlier about the amount of projects that are in the incubation phase and also in the advisory pipeline. What can you tell us a little bit more about that? What makes you that excited about those projects?
Yeah, absolutely. And again, it's one of those situations where I can't really name names of a lot of these projects or some of the investors that they have working with them. But when I say it's the best lineup we've ever had, no joke, like we're so excited about some of these projects that we have, and that's what's kind of one of the most frustrating things about the conditions as they are, that we can't launch these projects. Some of these projects we've been working with for 6 months now. We're really excited to get them out there, to make it public, announce the partnerships, get them launched and really see what they can do. We've got some really great teams that we're working with, and so seeing that get put on hold is frustrating, not only for you guys, it's frustrating for us, it's frustrating for the team. So we're all in this together. We're all gonna keep working through it, but overall, the FAS program for Ferrum is newer compared to the DeFi and the blockchain as a service side of our company, but we've come a long ways in the last 18 months or so. We've developed our partnerships, our strategic partnerships, the people that we're working with. I mean, if you go to the Ferrum website and you go to the ecosystems page, like some of the names that are on there are, it gets more and more impressive every month as we update that. The partnerships that we've gone out and secured with major, top 20 projects, top 100, top 20 projects within crypto is fantastic, especially for a company the size of Ferrum. So our team has grown, our partnerships have grown, we've expanded our service offerings, we've expanded the value adds and the services that we can bring as an advisor, as an incubation service. We've expanded our fundraising vehicles. There's been so many developments on the FAS side of Ferrum over the last 18 months, and that's shown in the success of some of the projects that we've launched in the last year here. For those people that have been with Ferrum for a while, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That you've seen the fruits of what's come out of the FAS program. And also with that success has come the increased exposure and recognition that's led to those partnerships we talked about earlier with top tier partners, and it's created top tier deal flow. So in the last 6 months, we've seen more projects than we ever had before, and we've seen better projects. We're getting access to better projects earlier at a stage where maybe before we would have seen them, or maybe just had a chance to chuck some funds at them. Now we're actually getting them early enough stage. We're able to come on as advisors and bring them into our incubation pipeline. And we're able to be more choosy. With the number of projects that are coming across our desk now, we have in the fortunate position where we can be more selective on who we're bringing in. Without giving away any details and any names, we've got products in our pipeline that are in tier 1 accelerator programs right now that are getting backing by tier 1 investors, major names within crypto, the kind of names you see on billboards, stuff like that. So tons of great stuff happening, and a lot going on behind the scenes. Again, I know I said this before, you guys don't get to see it, but just because we're not launching any pre-sales right now doesn't mean that everything's on hold. But the advisory services, we're looking at new projects, we're working with new partners, and we're kicking ass with the projects that we've got. So overall message, we're tightening on the hatches, preparing for a crypto winter, but it doesn't mean we're not grinding in the background. So rest assured, pre-sales are going to be back, and they're going to be back better than ever.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, guys. Like you can see it, don't worry. This is all going to be in the past very soon, and we've got a lot of things in a pipeline. So there's plenty of things to get excited over. Nathan, do you have any final thoughts?
Be patient with us on the pre-sales. We're doing what's in the best interest of everybody. We feel Ferrum, the team, the teams that we're working with. As well as the Ferrum holders. So, be patient with us. The pre-sales will be back. We promise. In the meantime, let's get out there and crucible.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you, Nathan.
Likewise, Tom. Always a pleasure. Take care.